What's going on? Them meeting people who don't mess with a lot of technology. That's kind of amazing. I knew people who were electricians and did things, but you can't avoid modernization. I mean, if you mess with TV and you mess with, it's kind of hard. I mean, there are people though who are set in their ways though, where they be just as good with their old record player, with their old tape deck, and what I will call it, I'll say, uh, minimum technology. Do you know people with minimum technology? I have. I've met them. They don't mess with a lot of. They don't mess with apps. They don't. They don't. And it's amazing if they don't mess with cell phones. It's amazing how people have. There are out there. You wouldn't believe it. I know it is. You live in a world where you think, how do you make it without it? There are people who don't do it. Believe it or not, I was reading about a businessman where he still does his thing locally. I don't know if he used papers or how he communicated with selling his business to ship and handling, but yeah, he don't really mess with it. It can happen. It can happen. I mean, you can do it. I think that because the way things are, people sensationalize some things and they get more hype behind them. But the reality is, it still comes down to basic common sense. And sometimes, if technology don't work, it can go out on you. And then what are you going to do? What's your plan B? You ever been in a restaurant or something, and if they don't have a Google, or they don't know how to ask for Siri or somebody for help, they have no Alexis, they have no idea of how to calculate to do simple math. Like, you gotta use your noggin. What a novel concept. How do I carry a one over to an eight and make it a nine? But there are people who have minimum technical use for modern technology. And I said that like I did. Yeah, I did. They don't really want to have electric cars. They don't really want to have where they clap their hands, everything come on, and everything is all pre-programmed. They like doing things where they craftsmanship, where they do it from the heart, mind, and soul. I don't have no problem with it. And I said this before. I've said it many in different other platforms and places. I got an old school, new school vibe. There are things that I still like that are older, and then things I like that are new. I don't really trust like the mail system. I always was right about writing a money order. They might charge extra money for rent or something. Hey, I'll pay that. Wasn't cool with giving details transit because if anything, with all these hackers out here with all this stuff that goes on, if you want to take that chance. But there are people out here who are into minimum technological, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't want anybody to like look down on somebody. Hey, look, I remember I had a cassette player. Well, I was listening to cassette tapes all the way to the '00s, about 15, 16 years ago. Had a couple, but he was sniggling because he had all the latest gadgets. But I said, I'm doing my thing. That's what I was comfortable with. And at the time, they weren't putting YouTube and all the music services as apps. Nowadays, you don't need all that. You don't need to take the bulky tapes with you or CDs on your coats and all that. I used to do that all the time. You just listen to your music freely now. Bump all, that. But at the time, they didn't have it. So, hey, and that's, now I save a lot more money than I did with that. But anyway, yeah, I mean, there are things that you just regular have where you don't have to go through all the technical aspects. So, but you don't get those lot of options and choices. That's what digital world is created to do. But anyway, let me know your thoughts and your takes. If you know anyone that is into minimum technology, please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another. Share it if you like. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. And I'm sure that you grew up with grandparents or older relatives or people, member or parents. They would not really compute. Some do, but a lot of them wouldn't even want to touch what's out here now. That's how much things change. Because there was a generation of generations of people that you understood what a telegram was. You understood what, call ID was like high tech. But what has happened in the last 25, 30 years, may keep it to a minimum. All right, I'm out. Peace.